Welcome, everyone. We are Professors Ilse Schreinemakers, Alison Cimino, and Beth Cunahan, faculty in the English department and coordinators of the Welcome Read program funded by the Kupferberg Holocaust Center. We are thrilled to welcome you to our first Welcome Read event, Professor Aviva Geismar's dance company, Drastic Action, and QCC students' performance of Just Stand By.
As you watch, consider how both Just Stand By and our Welcome Read book, The Gangster We Are All Looking For by Lê T. Diem Thuy, investigates themes of injustice and inclusion and exclusion. We hope you will join us again next week for more Welcome Read events, including a presentation by our author. Today, our first piece is choreographed by QCC students, and the second piece is choreographed by Professor Geismar in collaboration with the performers.
So to fully experience this live performance, please turn your phone off, put it away for the duration of the performance. Please do not talk. Please do not get out of your seat or move around. And at the end, as you exit, please look for a professor holding a QR code attendance survey for you to scan. Okay, and thank you all very much.
Did everybody hear my speech? Did you like my speech?
How is it possible to speak when you feel a strange double bind, an infinite claim to speak, a duty to speak infinitely, imposing with irrepressible force, and at the same time, an almost physical impossibility to speak, the choking feeling? Knotted words stick in your throat and cause you to suffocate, to lose your breath. They asphyxiate you, taking away the possibility of even beginning.
So I'm Aviva Geismar from the dance program, and Drastic Action is my company, and the student dancers did a week-long workshop with members of my company and myself, during which they explored themes like being pressured to conform and injustice and inclusion and exclusion, and out of that experience, they created that work under the mentorship of Nadia, Janae, and myself. So yay for the student dancers, yay. So I think Professor Cunahan has a mic somewhere, and we wanted to discuss with you anything you wanted to respond with or ask about in terms of the development of these works. Yes, you have a question.
So, what inspired you to pick these sort of themes of like suppression and peer pressure and stuff like that?
That's a great question. So one thing that inspired me was seeing the rise of anti-democratic leaders around the world. And another thing that inspired me was my family background, because my father escaped the Nazis, so he was a Holocaust refugee. So I sort of always had it in my mind, like, what would I do if this was happening to me? And then we actually started work on this piece last summer 24, so before the election. And then it was a strange way that life seemed to be imitating art as time has moved forward. So it was a lot about what's happening in our world now. Great. Other thoughts, questions? Maybe any of the students want to talk a little bit about the process of being in the intensive and developing the work. Lemon?
Hi. When I first joined this intensive, I was admittedly a bit nervous because stuff like this can tend to get heavy emotionally. But I wanted to say, like, during the process, Aviva, Janae, and Nadia all held a lot of space for, like, joy in between it, so that we were able to talk about these really heavy things and learn things that we weren't aware of, while also still remembering, like, to have fun. And I feel like that really contributed to the process of making the piece for us.
Thank you. Any other thoughts about it, Emily?
Thank you, Professor Aviva. I think that it's so important to stay inspired and find happiness in our everyday lives, especially as we navigate everything that's happening worldwide as a collective. And it's so important for us to have our community and always follow your North Node, which is standing up for what's right, even if it feels scary. You know, this doesn't have to be a way where we aggressively stand up. Maybe some people want to stand up in softness, but it's so important to bring to the light the things that are happening, and it's so important to always stand for what's right.
Yeah, so that was like, we were trying to come from a place of compassion, like how hard is it to stand up? Like, how remarkable are those people who have the bravery to stand up? It's so difficult. Like, I think we can all feel that now.
Thank you. Throughout this process, I think in with everything that's happening right now, I think it's so important for people to realize to stay creative, because the only reason that we're going is because people stay creative. Like, that's really the only thing that continues to give you hope, is the fact that you can create, and that's the most beautiful thing about humanity, that we continue to create even throughout these moments that feel so heavy. And I really feel like the whole message is just continue to create, continue to be yourself, continue to be authentic to yourself. Like, that's all that matters at the end of the day. We're gonna have all these issues all the time, but just be authentic to who you are and you will make it through. Yeah.
Do you, Nadia or Janae or Donna, want to speak a little bit about the process of developing this work or working with the students?
Hello. Throughout the process, it was just really nice to have that sense of taking off the cape, or in other words, taking off the jacket, because we were playing such deep, sometimes scary, like this tyrant character that Donna was playing, and me and Janae being selfless within our Blackness, and these images could be very heavy, could be dark, but we can't put history just under the rug. So it was about transcending and being able to have some resonance, like people could resonate with it, but also know that the struggles that you go through, you could prevail, and there could be a sense of liberation within it all. So I think that was really helpful, being able to take off the cap and just be like, okay, we're out of the studio. We are Nadia, Donna, Janae, like, it's fine. But it really, really helped Aviva too, like all of us having like deep discussions about what it felt to do this type of movement, the racial dynamic of it all. So yeah, it was really good having that balance and having you guys support throughout the whole process. Really appreciate it.
This was a long process. I'm used to very short, learn my choreography and perform rehearsals. So this was definitely a challenge, but it was a great challenge. It definitely pushed me, and I'm very much so a critical thinker, so I love having the discussion, and being fortunate enough to dance and have that discussion was great, because at the end of the day, history repeats itself, and art tells history, right? So as long as we're constantly introducing ourselves to forms of arts, I don't know if this is this working? A little feedback? Yeah. Okay. As long as we're continuing to introduce ourselves to forms of arts, then we're continuing to educate ourselves, right? And so that's what I encourage for all of you. If you didn't take anything out of this, is to continue to educate yourself, continue to introduce yourself to the forms of arts, because through this, we got to speak to Holocaust survivors, and I think that is the first time I actually memorized the Holocaust dates. Like, seriously, just because of the education that I've got growing up in a low-income area, the education wasn't the greatest. So being able to speak to them and ask them the questions, and this happened through art. Another thing that I really, really want to emphasize during this point of time, because I'm a community outreach assistant at Brooklyn Ballet, and my favorite part was contributing with these beauties and dancing with them and seeing them smile every day and put it in that work, yeah? But to lean into your community, it's so important. And the more you lean into your community, the more you realize it's easier to get through life, right? Scientifically, psychologists show that the more you interact with people and have the good ones hanging on, the longer you live, right? So have your 2-3 people, have your community. That's so important. Be like, you know what, I'm having a shitty day today, and that's okay. My train was late, I'm upset. Really lean into that, really lean into the humanity of it, because we're human at the end of the day. I know sometimes we walk around with stick up our butts, but community, it's so important, and we're so in our phones that we're not, I see some of y'all on your phones in the crowd. Yeah, I see you. Yeah. But again, put the phone down, talk to someone. How was your day? How was your week? So that's what I really got from out of this. Even when things get hard, it was extremely lifting to just talk to each other and get it off our shoulders. So, yeah.
So we want to thank you so much again for coming and for being so attentive. And thank you, faculty, for participating and bringing your students. And I know that the faculty have QR codes that they'd love for students to scan so they could get feedback from you about the experience and also just know how many people are here. And we want to especially thank Laura Cohen and the Kupferberg Center for sponsoring the event and facilitating that dialogue with the Holocaust survivors. That was really an important part of our process. All right, thank you.
Thank you.